Be joined today on the show by two of the stars and the writer for Here for Blood. We have Maya Misaljevic, Joelle Farrow, and James Roberts. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hi, thanks for having us.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Obviously, we've been talking now for roughly half an hour because of technical difficulties, but Rob can deal with the editing side of that. That's fine. So, congratulations on the movie. I was a big fan of it. I was lucky enough to get sent a screener. It's shown the international premiere is going to be in my hometown of Glasgow a week today, actually, isn't it? This is the Saturday at Glasgow Frightfest. I'll just start with yourself, James. Just with the writing process and everything, was it quite a... Has it been something that's been in your thought process for a while?
Yeah, absolutely. I wrote the first draft of the script in about 2015. Mm-hmm. I was approached by a producer who wanted to direct a horror feature, and he gave me a lot of constraints. He said it needs to have a male lead, because he was saying to sell movies in certain markets, they only want to have male leads, which I thought was odd. But I was like, okay. So it was an interesting exercise because there was a lot of rules and certain things. He wanted action. He wanted all these things in it, and nothing ever ended up coming together with that gentleman. But I had kind of the central idea of the babysitter fighting evil. And I've always loved movies where little kids kick ass. So I definitely wanted a kick-ass kid in the movie. And basically I rewrote it to just have everything I love in movies. Lots of splatter, just over-the-top fun horror elements. So that's really what I was hoping to see someday on a big screen. And here we are. And I'm really thrilled with how everything came together, and the work of the Butcher Shop effects studio based out of Hamilton, Ontario, really went above and beyond to deliver the gore and the gags in the best way possible.
Yeah. And Joelle, when did you first hear about the movie? Would you have been affected by COVID regulations and things like that, or was that post?
It was we were kind of in the thick of it all. I think, at that point I had already been on about maybe 5 or 6 different COVID productions. So each one operated a little differently, but that was definitely something that was another layer to filming. But I remember when I first got the audition for this project, I loved the script. I loved Phoebe. I thought she was so much fun. And it was really, really cool to be able to bring her to life. So I think I auditioned a few months actually prior to filming. And so when I found out I got the role of Phoebe, I was thrilled to be able to actually not only just do the lines like I did in the audition, but be able to do the action of it. That was what I was looking forward to most, was the gore and the blood and working with Maya and all of those things.
Yeah. And Maya, yourself as well, obviously James mentioned having a kick-ass kid on board was important, and you certainly are that in this movie. Was that a good... Obviously, I know you played a young starlight in The Boys, is that right? So there's levels of violence to things that you've worked on. Did you enjoy that side of it, the kind of the bloodier side?
Yes. So when I first kind of got on the set, I was 10. I was kind of like a little scared when I first got on, but I just after I just loved it. I was like, oh my God, this gore is so cool. Like, I loved all the blood. I thought it was such a great movie. And I don't know, I just loved it so much. I just thought it was so cool how it all came together in the end with the gore and the blood. I loved it so much. Yeah. It was so fun to film. I just loved it.
And James, you were mentioning about practical effects as well, a big part of this movie. They're fantastic. I love a good blood splatter. I think every horror fan does. Was that, and also there's a character in it which I'm not going to go into too spoilery, but reminded me of something maybe from, I don't know if you've seen Psycho Gorman.
Psycho Gorman, yeah.
So, and there's the certain character which is always wanting fed. throughout the whole its whole introduction, and it definitely reminded me a wee bit of things like that, like having that real grounded practical effects adds to the movie, and I think it was massively important in this.
Yeah, absolutely. As somebody who's been a lifelong horror movie fan, like an absolute fanatic, like when I was younger, I wanted to go into creature effects and special effects makeup. Like I've always been fascinated by that world, and nothing pulls me out of a horror movie faster than CGI blood. You know, when there's something there's something about having real fake blood splattering, almost into the camera that just makes it so fun. And that was really the whole heart of the film. Kind of relied on the practical effects, and I thought the butcher shop knocked it out of the park with all their effects makeup. Without going into spoilers again, there's transformations and some otherworldly elements to it, and certainly lots of blood splatter. And having that, especially for the actors, being covered in blood at nighttime, certainly helps you get into the mindset of these characters when you're actually cold. And we shot in Ontario, Canada in the fall, so it would get kind of cold at night, and now add fake blood on you. It was, some actors would be okay, cut, and then it was like, okay, blanket, because it was very, very cold. But it was just so much fun to use the practical blood and the effects.
Yeah,
James, I was picking blood after. It was crazy.
What was that, Joelle? You had
No.
blood.
Sorry, I think I cut out for a second. I don't know if you heard that, but I was picking blood out of my hair for like weeks after.
Oh yeah. We had blood everywhere on that set. We had to do a deep clean because the location we shot on was actually an Airbnb for weddings, for country weddings. So they knew we were shooting a movie, but I don't think they knew the amount of blood we would be using in the movie. So we had, like, there was blood everywhere in the kitchen. There was blood in all the drawers, under the fridge. And we had a real problem where there was blood, little flecks of blood in rooms we weren't even shooting in. And we couldn't figure out, like, how is there blood in this room? And what happened was, we'd leave the doors open, crew coming in and out, just getting airflow into the house. And all these flies were coming in, and they'd land in the pooled fake blood. And then they'd go to all the different rooms and walk around the ceilings with little drops of blood on their feet. And they spread it through the whole house, to every ceiling, to every wall. So we had to go through and look for little spots of blood everywhere and clean the entire place. It was, it's definitely not the most glamorous, but it was totally worth it to get those practical shots in the film.
I think if I was getting married in an Airbnb, I would like all that just to stay there. It would make the wedding photos different. It would be a uniqueness to them if there was blood splattered everywhere during your nuptials.
Well, they did have a wedding 2 days after we left, and we the production supplied some gift cards to that wedding because there was still some blood in the house. So we just kind of made a little wedding gift donation as a sorry for covering your beautiful destination wedding in blood.
Fair enough. Obviously, the kind of the main character interactions with Joelle, with yourself and Maya, are with Sean Roberts, who plays Tom O'Bannon. He's the hero of the piece to an extent. I don't want to say he's not the only hero, but I mean, the man is built like a brick outhouse. You can see why he would happily fight demons. Maya, for yourself, how was that working with Sean, really, just as alongside him?
I thought he was really funny. I thought I was really surprised because when I first saw him, I was like, oh, I was like, oh my God. And I don't know, he was really friendly. He was, I don't know, I can't even talk. Sorry. He was really friendly, and I think I loved working with everyone on set, and yeah, he was fun to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maya had all these big dudes in masks trying to kill her while the cameras were rolling, and then they'd call cut, and she'd be like, laughing with them. Especially Marc Andre, who's he plays a really hulking big character in the movie named Meat, big bald guy, very very jacked, and he was like a big teddy bear. He was like Maya's teddy bear. She'd call cut, and he'd be laughing with her, and eating cotton candy and stuff and having a good time. So it was, Maya was definitely, she was like the Energizer bunny on the set. We were doing all.
So yeah, Joelle, for yourself, working alongside Sean, it seems at the end of the movie where really the three of you become this team battling these nightmare-fueled demons from wherever, and it just seemed really fun to be involved in. It looks like a great film. As I said, I had a lot of fun with it anyway, but it seemed like a great film to be involved in.
Absolutely. Everybody on that set had so much fun making it. And I think that was kind of our goal going into it. We had a lot of fun making it, and we want an audience to have so much fun watching it. Working with Sean it was great. I feel like when I first got on set with him, we had an immediate chemistry, and it was so easy, and the dialogue it was very conversational. He was such a pro, and it was really cool to learn from him on set. And you also mentioned before being, he's such a big guy in it. There's a scene where I have to give him a massage, and I swear my hands were about to break because I felt like I was massaging a brick. That is how muscular Sean is. But he really is a teddy bear inside. He's so friendly. Him, Maya, and I had a lot of fun doing our scenes together. We did kind of become a trio. Maya taught us all the TikTok dances when we were on our long night shoots. It was 3 a.m. in the morning, and she was keeping everybody alive and the energy up. But I think this movie was so much fun to make because the cast and the crew were so committed, and just everybody wanted to be there and really gave it their all. And I think that made all of the difference.
And you can definitely tell. I don't have TikTok. I'm 36 this year. TikTok's far too past for me. I do have a 4-year-old who's just started getting into Blink-182, which is quite good for me.
Whoa!
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I'm going to see them in September, and she's not coming, but it's good getting her in there early. I've not listened to some of Blink-182 stuff yet because we know how they can get, but it's the TikTok thing eventually, I'm sure, will hit Maya. So just ignore my old mannerisms. How's this is just a general question really for the three of you. I don't know how much attention you pay to press and things like that. From what I've read, the response seems to have been very positive. How have you all found that? Is it just do you take it with, I suppose what I mean to say, has it been enjoyable for you reading that positive feedback that you've been getting?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice, when somebody responds positively to anything you create, be it a meal at home or whatever. But something like this that, I've been working on this. Like I first wrote the script in 2015, and then once we started production, this has been probably 3 years of my life at this point. It's been a commitment. This is truly our heart and soul out there, and we've put everything into this. So the positive response is wonderful, especially as a horror fan like myself. It's truly the genre I love to work in, and when somebody who's also a fan and has that love for the genre says, "Hey, I really love this," and they get excited and they go into a deep dive and, "How'd you guys do that?" And, "Oh, that was really cool. Kind of reminded me of this." Right. And then you speak that horror film nerd lingo back and forth. That's really special, and that's really why I wrote it. And it's been very nice to hear that. But it's like everything in life. You just don't let it affect you too much. No matter positive, negative, you take it and you keep going forward.
Yeah. And Joelle and Maya, same for yourselves. Has it been a positive experience?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think what's really cool too is what comes out of it is so many friendships as well, right? Like we all worked so closely together, and I think that's such a beautiful thing is that we all became friends after. Like I'm excited to work with Maya on a set again, hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, we just all bonded together, and I think it was just a great friendship that we had on set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can just get a list of TikTok videos to wind everyone up with again the next time.
Exactly.
You need. In fact, I do. Do you know? Actually, I've told a lie. I've not told a lie. I have a TikTok account, but I don't put anything on it. I follow Mike Flanagan and something called Dark Humor.
Nice.
And I occasionally get sent things. Like yesterday, I got sent a Pedro Pascal and Nick Cage thing that I watched, and that's kind of it. But so I don't post anything. And obviously, James and Joelle, yourselves, you are both coming to Glasgow for the international premiere.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. We'll be attending Glasgow Frightfest along with the director of the feature, Daniel Turez, and we'll be in attendance for the whole festival. And I'm really excited to take in the city and meet the fans and the other filmmakers. It's almost like a filmmaker summer camp type thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, we're going to go away and meet all the other kids at camp, and especially being all horror filmmakers, it's going to be pretty fun, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm so excited for that too. And I'm excited just to explore Scotland. That's going to be what a cool opportunity. I feel like that's such a bucket list item for me, was to be able to travel somewhere really beautiful for my work and for a premiere. And so this is just like a dream come true.
Yeah. And coming from LA to Glasgow will be a temperature drop for you.
You know what? I'm used to Toronto winters, so it's okay. I think I'll make do.
Yeah, we just got 2 feet of snow or something last night. It's crazy right now. So
you've timed it perfectly, because we're due a snowfall next week. We don't get a lot of snow here, but next week is due to have some sort of snow, just right in time for you landing, probably.
Oh, perfect. We're not stuck on the runway.
So, moving forward, is there, again, not want to go into too many spoilers, is there any plans for even working together again, or having a Here for Blood follow-up or something along those lines? Do you want to stay, James? I know you've said you're a big horror fan. Are you always looking to write more horror moving forward? Obviously not knowing what you've got coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now our priority on the production team is securing distribution for the film.
Okay.
This is one of those movies where I think, I personally feel like, a UK European audience would really get into it. I think it's got a sense of humor that those audiences would really get behind. So I'm really excited to premiere it in Glasgow. And we have had some talks with some distribution, but there's nothing concrete yet. So that's our plan right now, is to secure the distribution. And, depending on if there's a demand, if there's, a fan base wants a sequel, then we could absolutely look into that. But I would love to work with, certainly Maya and Joelle again. They were absolute pros and just totally, just so delightful to work with. It was wonderful. So whether it be in a, a heist film or a horror film or what have you, certainly I would love to work with them again.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise.
No. And Maya, yourself, have you enjoyed being involved in the genre cinema aspect of it? As I said, the horror community is probably, I think, the best community in cinema. They're very welcoming and very open and very appreciative of filmmakers and actors and actresses and within the community. Have you enjoyed that, and can you see yourself being involved later on? Is it something you would want to continue?
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be really cool to do more horror. I think that horror is really cool to film. I think it's just with all the blood and everything, like I said before, it's so fun to film, especially with all the friendship that you make on set and the people that you get to meet, like every new person. And I think it's really cool. I would love to do more horror films, and obviously I would like to do other genres too, but horror is definitely up in my list. That'd be really cool to film another one.
Yeah.
We did have a moment on set where Maya does stab a character in the movie. And there's so much blood shooting throughout the movie. Maya stabs a character, and she pulls the knife out, and they had a little blood pack. It wasn't an over-the-top stab, and a little bit of blood comes out. I just remember they called cut, and she turns and she goes, "Is that it?" And she was so upset that she wasn't getting like the full blood cannon explosions that everybody else was getting. So yeah, she was totally game. She was totally game for the full-on gonzo exploding blood horror.
I was so sad because I saw everyone and they had blood all over them. I'm like, I want to have that. And I was like, I stabbed someone, and I was like, the whole movie, not one speck of blood. I was like, can I have a little bit?
Yeah.
Full on like Ash from the Evil Dead, caked in blood. That's what you want, or Nick Cage and Mandy, like just bathing in it. There's always time. Yeah. There's plenty of time for you. So if you do crack on with the genre side, then just get that in your contract. Just extra blood, even if it's like a Pride and Prejudice remake. Blood. Exactly. Just lots of blood. Yeah.
The next Hallmark Christmas movie, just make sure you put that in the contract.
Or Hallmark, perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
And Joelle, for yourself, again, happy going forward. And as I said, you will experience it, obviously, when you're in Glasgow. Apart from Glasgow being the best city in the world, but I might be biased. I think having the horror community in Glasgow as well is you'll experience how great that is.
Oh, yeah.
And being involved in that genre, is that something you really want to carry on?
Yeah, definitely. Like Maya said, I mean, I'm looking to diversify and do a lot of different genres. And this was my first horror, specifically horror comedy. And I think I really enjoyed it. I think there is an element of it that doesn't take itself too seriously, which is why people enjoy watching it so much. And I would love to get back into the horror genre again after this. The blood, though, I'm going to like go look for some solutions to get it out of my hair properly, because oh my goodness, weeks after, I can't even begin to explain it. But I asked for it when I had my initial call with Daniel. I said to him, I was like, I want to be covered in blood. Cover me in blood. And he didn't disappoint. Like, I almost regretted it after. And anyways, yes, I will definitely get back into horror and all bloodified again.
Yeah. And I think it's been a great time recently as well for like indie horror. We've seen a lot of I think horror in general the past few years has been really strong, like mainstream as well. We've had lots of things from like James Wan, and which I'm a guy I'm a massive fan of. But it just seems maybe within the past kind of 6 to 12 months, the more independent based movies are getting their time to shine. We've had Terrifier 2 doing massive numbers in the box office. Since the turn of this year, we've had Skinamarink, which has been, again, a huge hit, and one of my favourites from this year, The Outwaters. Again, another really, I'm also a found footage head, so that kind of, again, a wee bit biased. But the indie horror thing, I think, is so important, again, for fans of the genre. We gravitate towards filmmakers and actors, and just the whole kind of background to people that clearly show that love, and I think all you guys have done that with Here for Blood. Like,
thanks.
And I think James, I spoke to you on email, and you did it the first time replying, said it was a labour of love, and you can feel that on screen. Like, everyone is great in it. It gets the horror comedy mix perfectly. There's a right amount of splatter. The acting's on top. The the script is fantastic, and it really feels like this for Here for Blood. And I hope you get the distribution. Obviously, I don't know how. I've not got a clue how that works. But
hey, I'm learning too. So
yeah. And I really hope you get the success with it, because it's fantastic. And unfortunately, I can't make Saturday, but reasons. But just congratulations with it again, and good luck with everything going forward. And I know, Joelle, you've got a flight soon to catch. So
I got a flight to catch. I got to go come see why Glasgow is better than Edinburgh, apparently, according to you. We'll see.
Again, if anyone from Edinburgh watches this, they'll probably tell you the opposite, but it is one street and a castle. There's nothing else. And it's also, it's full of people from Edinburgh. And that's just an issue.
I'm excited to see the rivalry in person.
Yeah.
But they
don't talk about it because they know we are better than them, but that's fine.
Sure.
But yeah, thanks guys again. Thanks very much, Joelle, James and Maya, for joining me. Check out Here for Blood as soon as it comes out. It's the international premiere, 8:45 on the 11th of March in Glasgow. And good luck with that, guys.
Thank you
very much.